All right, we're joined here by head coach Chris Armas. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts on tonight's match.
Look, I've said it last week that winning games is never easy, as we saw tonight, that we had to suffer a little bit for the last bit of the game. But the wins feel good for the guys. It validates the work that we're all putting in. We have a really nice group here, and I love that they get to reap the rewards of a lot of hard work. So really, really good win for the team. Nice to see the boys creep up the standings a bit. Love that we can deliver for the fans. You know, I think for a large part of the night, we gave the fans something to be proud of. We played some good football for good stretches and suffered to seal the victory. So really important win, especially at home, and we'll enjoy a day or so and then get back to work.
All right, just a reminder to please state your name and outlet. We'll go ahead and start off with Braden.
Hey, Chris. Braden Nurse with the Denver Post. Just Calvin gets his second goal of the season tonight. Just what have you seen from him during the preseason and during the first portion of the season that gives you the confidence to continue to give him this big role and for it to be working out?
Yeah, I think what I like is probably what you all could see him like, which is he's powerful. He's a threat with his speed and power. In the first half, challenging runs behind the back line of Dallas. He's always threat in 1v1 situations and counterattacks. So it's really the power and the pace, and we call him an option A guy, that he's looking to go. So this is the type of football we want to play, and putting guys like him out there help us do that. So I think it was a great goal, that one. You know, Kevin was in and around it all night. You know, has a couple of nice chances, but on that one he really delivers a great ball for Calvin, and he does the rest. So yeah, I'm happy for him.
Hi, Coach. Keith Richards, team at BS Media. That's 15 points through 9 games this season versus 8 through 9 last season. Like, what's the feeling in the locker room right now as the team continues to grow and continues to get win throughout that process?
Yeah, look, it's the energy in the team it's really I love it. You know, it gives me energy. You know, we showed the boys video today of yesterday's training and a big celebration for a game-winning goal within the training session. I've not seen this in a long time at the teams I've been part of. Like a big pile-on, it was just incredible. And there's just real good energy in the team, and I think that it's infectious. These results aren't accidental. I think we've put ourselves in spots to win games, and even the draws that we've had, we've earned. So, 15 points. We have fought for every single one of them, and we'll continue to do it. But yeah, I told them I'm really proud of them. You know, again, tonight for me, the first half, the start to the second half, so let's call it 60 minutes, was really, really good, I think. In possession, out of possession, controlling counterattacks, good structure, creating chances, scoring some goals, and not giving up much, you know. And then, yeah, we had to suffer a little bit. But, yeah, 15 points is I think it's a good start to the year.
Chris, Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave, not to be a Debbie Downer on your last comment about the good job through 60 minutes and then obviously giving up the goal at the end that made stoppage time a little bit more uncomfortable than it probably should have been. What are you seeing in terms of how the team defends when they have a lead and where there's room for improvement? I look at, say, Miami, where they're presented challenges there when you guys had a lead, and there were points even when you were up multiple goals against San Jose, where there were maybe some uncomfortable things you guys could have handled a little bit better. Where's the one thing you guys could be doing better in those moments?
Matt, I appreciate you always ask good questions, and I know you know what you're looking at, honestly. But there's a lot of things, right? Like this, at halftime, we try to reset the message, how we started the game, which was pressure on the ball, keep it structured, and then all of a sudden, after we score, we think we can go into a cautious mode and we in some ways stopped doing what we started doing. But probably more when we look at the video back, I think we'll see that Dallas started throwing a lot at us. They made some tactical changes. They brought in another striker. They started hitting these bigger balls. They started big diagonals. And this put a lot of pressure on our back line, which gave us a lot of attacking transition moments. Can we better at attacking transition? Can we deal with some of the long balls, some 1v1 situations, some of the overloads? So there's some structural things. There's some counter-attacking things, being more patient and calm on the ball in these moments to sustain attacks. But this is very normal. And we train this part of the game where we have these 2-minute drills where we're under big pressure in training. So as much as it seems like we're under it, that we're comfortable being uncomfortable. I saw it. As a coaching staff, we tried to help the boys. We went to 5 in the back to, again, they're overloading our back line. There are lots of long balls, diagonals, trying to help out the guys the way we could as a coaching staff. And in the end, we win the game. So did it work? But we were all a little bit under it. You got to give credit. There's always going to be another team there. Around the world, Premier League, I watch it all. Champions League, there's teams that will it goes in waves at times. So I'm proud of the guys. They closed it out. Big win.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned it a little bit. Kevin, obviously, the chances he missed. Maybe in another role he has a hat trick in the first 30 minutes. But do you think there's anything missing from him in those final actions? And what, if anything, did you say to him at halftime to kind of keep his spirits up?
Yeah, honestly, Brandon, I look at it as the chances he created. That's how I look at it. I thought he played really good tonight. It's the chances he created. Keegan whips in a good one. It's coming at pace. He tries to get some body part on it. It's a header. It's a crossbar. He creates a goal. He's running behind. Some really entertaining stuff off his feet. Long balls. He's flicking to the next guy. I see a confident player in Kevin. I see a guy that meets the demands defensively at the moment, and that he's putting himself in good positions. So what could he do better on those moments? The goalkeeper cut the angle a few times. If he can he's got to keep working at that stuff. The next one will be a little bit different, but the most important thing for Kevin is that he's getting himself in really good spots. Based on what I've always known, that I think the goals will come for him. I'm glad that he helps us get a really important goal on the night.
Coach, looks like it was another great game for Moise Bamito in the back. What are your thoughts on how he's progressed throughout the season?
We're talking about master of the basics, Bambito? Yeah. He just comes to work every day trying to get better, and we're very deliberate. I've said it about how we work with him as an individual and within the units, within the team, doing the little things right, staying grounded, working hard, looking at video, trying to repeat, trying to do the little things right. You can see that his speed is always impressive, but his ability, he's ball-oriented, he's moving with the team, he's moving with the line, he's dealing with long balls, he's a presence on crosses. So, yeah, he continues to impress, but he knows there's a lot of work to do for him, and that's our job to keep pushing him because he's a talent.
Chris, any concern with Sam coming off for Sebi? Looked like there was a bit of an injury, and what are your thoughts on Sebi's performance as your wingbacks, fullbacks continue to have flexibility in the moment?
Imagine Seb Anderson this year, right? He gets thrown out there tonight in a really tough moment, and he held up, blocked some crosses, started some counters, put out some fires, dealt with some 1v1 situations that were not easy, and I thought he did all right with that stuff. I would give him a plus on the night. And then, of course, he gets the game against Miami, which imagines for a guy, he's gotten thrown in a few times. I think he's done a pretty good job. I'm happy with him. For Sam Vines, it looks like we're going to still get some evaluation, but a concussion, which symptoms seem very light right now, so he might be back next weekend. But we'll treat it like a concussion at the moment, and then you got to see how the symptoms, how they arise. But it's a bit of a shame because for me, we've been pushing Sam in lots of ways, and I thought tonight he was really up for it defensively and offensively, where he was connected all night, winning duels, tackles, aerial duels. I thought he had a really solid night, and hopefully he's okay. But we will be ultra careful with the head injury with Sam. We will not push him any more than we're able to. We're very mindful of it, and we'll be cautious with this.
Coach, what do you think of Jasper and his return in the first game in 5 or 6 weeks?
Yeah, look, he helped us seal the victory. We're looking at that moment for some structure. We're looking for some guys that can compete and meet the demands of what it was a tough situation with in those moments. It's not so much tactics and structure, more so making a play, being tuned in, not fouling, moving your feet, like all the things that he did tonight. I thought were important. I thought he had a positive impact in that final stretch. But yeah, look, it's those for any team around the world. When teams are going to force the coincidence and just dump a lot of things, and it's difficult. So he helped us seal it.
Don Pablo, KXWA. Sorry, new job. How do you feel the new substitution injury time rules went in the first match?
I'm not sure. Like I thought, I like the rules. If it means that we're gonna have the ball in play, longer and less time wasting, and I'm all for it. I said that last week. In the end, I'm not sure where it netted out, but 8 minutes of stoppage time. I know there's a concussion injury, so it seemed like a long time, but so be it. I trust the league. I like that they're thinking innovatively to keep speed things up. But I will say that it's another team that comes in our building and tries to slow the game down. I would love for us to, as a league, what can we do with this? Every goal kick, we open up, then we get up the field. We open up, we get up the field. Every throw-in, here now, can you take it? This is very deliberate. We want it to go the other way, but. We understand it.
Sorry, Coach. You're on a new team with a new captain this year. How do you think Keegan Rosenberry has changed his leadership style since the beginning of the season?
Listen, I think we have a guy that really is thinks carefully about his leadership, and he polices that locker room. Guys respect him, with whether it's fines, whether it's just team outings, messaging, holding guys accountable. What I've seen the difference from day one till now is just some more deliberate leadership. He's not the captain and leader that speaks all the time on everything, but when he speaks, guys listen. And I've just seen a confident voice out of him, and I've also seen that he has been deliberate of empowering a few guys around him. You'd have to ask him about that, but I know he speaks with Zach and Cole, and he's got some guys, and Georgie. So I think which is really smart of him. He's a good leader.
Coach, 3 games in a row now that you've been up at halftime. Just how big is that, especially in a game like tonight where you get a lot of chances early, but they're not going in and kind of steal one right before the half?
Yes, listen, we know in football, scoring first oftentimes leads to wins. Like the percentages go up big time. It gives you a little bit of a breathing room. So those first goals are important. I think it helped us go into the halftime with some momentum and a little reward for some good work that we did. But yes, I've said it, we don't always want to be chasing the game. We also don't want to be in survival mode defending a lead, so we'll have to get better at that, but we'll work at that. So we would love the challenge of having to score first and figure out how we can still maintain control in the match, which we lost a bit of that in the second half. But most importantly on the night, I'm proud of the way the guys came out, started the game, got on top of things, got the lead, continued that into the second half, up against it, sealed the victory. Really, really, really positive moments on the night. with a relatively young team. I'll say it again. We are still relatively young, but I tell them every day that they're winners, and they're showing it.
Coach, you touched on Seb Anderson coming on for Sam today. Seb, along with Kamani, Wayne, Jackson, Darren, getting valuable minutes with the second team. How have you seen that impact, just those experiences with the second team impact their ability to really strengthen the depth and the bench and coming up in big moments when they're called upon like tonight?
Yeah, look, it's a good question, and it's an easy one. Like, the second team is one of the reasons it's there for. We believe in young players, so we use that platform to play young players, to bring them in, trying to fast track some young guys. But then there's that next tier, the Seb Anderson, Yappian moments, but that young group, Jackson, we're checking for understanding. They train with the first team. The demands are high, speed of play, messaging, vocabulary, tactics, strategies, like the whole bit. And then on the weekend, okay, guys, and our coaching staff watches every game. We've not missed one. Right? We watch everything. We're going to support those guys, see what's coming through the pipeline, also now to see where our guys are at. They need those minutes. So then all of a sudden, we say you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's a big part of it. So we're with Eric Boucher and Crookham, we are aligned. We're together, shared vision and style of play, the whole bit, and some of the principles there. So we're speaking the same language, and I think it's a big positive for us. And you can see that those guys, then we're not afraid to use those guys. They come right in, and do they miss a beat type of thing? But we want to just really keep that tight where they can come in and pick up running.
All right. Thank you, Coach. All right, we're joined here by forward Calvin Harris. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts on tonight's match.
Yeah, so I thought the game today was a hard-fought one in tough conditions with it being freezing. But I think as well, the gaffer said it as well at the end of the game, speaking to us in the changing room, saying that at times we played some of our best football tonight. And I think the combinations up front and just throughout the team in general paid off, and we created a lot of chances. It could have been a lot more, on the score line for us, but we take the 3 points and we're happy with the result.
Braden Nurse with the Denver Post. You get your second of the season tonight. Just what about this offensive system has worked so well for you personally this season, especially given the fact you've been such a consistent role this season so far?
Yeah, I'd say the way that Chris wants us to press, he told us at the beginning of the season that we're going to press high, we're going to make it tough for teams, make it be a hard team to play against, and it's showing. And he said that us doing that defensive work will lead to us scoring goals, and we've seen that in recent games, especially with the amount of goals that we've created and chances, especially. It could be a lot more. So I would say our pressing up front has been a key factor into that, with us getting more chances and leading to us scoring more goals.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Calvin, I was speaking to you. I think it was your opening statement from Media Day last year saying about leaving from Cincinnati was about getting minutes and, 13, 14 months that, things have turned around. What can you say about how so much work you put in last year that kind of came to fruition against New England, and now this has you, rising to new heights that we haven't seen in MLS? Just your turnaround as a player and how Colorado's enabled that.
Yeah, I would say that I've had a lot of trust in me, coming here, and with my hard work on the training pitch, I think that I've been seen to be a help to the team. With me getting in behind and my pressing ability as well that we've seen. So I'd say the main thing for me has been the trust shown in me, and I've felt that throughout my entire time here from day one, and the connection as well that I have with the teammates, with the new guys coming in this year as well. It's just all been very cohesive and led to me having a bit more success this year.
Hey, Calvin, Keith Richards from Team MBS Media. I asked Coach Armas the same question, but that's now 15 points through 9 games versus 8 points through 9 games last season. From a player's perspective, what's the feeling in the locker room after this good start to the season?
Yeah, it's buzzing. There's a good feeling, but there's also a feeling that we know we can do more, and the gaffer as well says that, and keeps telling us that we can continue to do more, score more goals, and be even more dominant in games. So we're still hungry, but we are happy with where we are at the moment.
Calvin, you kind of touched on this, but how do you feel the Chris Armas' system is really, re-energizing this team, re-energizing, honestly, the culture of the Rapids? And, there's a stat that, Colorado is, we've scored in 8 of the last 9 games. Only Miami's scored in all the 9 games played. What does that say just to the attack, to what Chris is trying to do, to how it affects all of you on the team?
Yeah, I mean, when you were asking that question, the main thing that stood out for me was energy. And Chris has a lot of energy, and it's contagious, that energy. We all want to play for him, to fight for him. And his energy is just very contagious, and I think it's seen throughout the effort put into the games defensively. And as you say, with us scoring goals, that comes from our work rate defensively. We're winning the ball in higher areas like we did in San Jose, which creates the penalty for us to score. And even today, the amount of times that we won second balls with us just being energetic and wanting the game more than the opponent. So I would say that's the main factor.
Calvin, 5 games unbeaten with 3 wins. I just looked it up. You guys had a 7-game unbeaten streak last year, but you haven't won. At no point last year did you guys have 3 wins in a 5-game stretch. Just how much more confidence is there in what the team's doing, and just how much better does it feel compared to just what the emotions were in the locker room last year?
Yeah, The emotions are very different. I think that in last year's the games, even though we were unbeaten in streaks, we were on the edge of quite a few of those games, and now this season we've been winning those games, and today was an example of that, with us getting the second goal and digging deep and not conceding that last goal to equalize the game. So yeah, I'll say that.
All right. Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you, guys.